getting real sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers shenanigans, man. He has an offer on the table to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a place that wants him, a place that actually values him. But instead of going where he's appreciated, he wants to wait for the Minnesota Vikings to reject him one more time. You know, for Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career, you don't have too many options. Why would you want to go to a place in Minnesota that already told you they don't want you, but then they might change their mind and be like, you know what, Aaron, you were our last option. We're going to bring you in, although we didn't really want you in the first place. Going to Pittsburgh, it's the best move for Aaron Rodgers' career. With Mike Tomlin already being a guaranteed lock to win 9-10 games with random quarterbacks, imagine the success that the Steelers can have if Aaron Rodgers can get them top 15 quarterback play. That's all Mike Tomlin needs. The defense is always pretty good. It's not that the defense is overrated. It's that the defense throughout the season, they get worn out because they're on the field for more snaps than what they should be due to incompetent quarterback play, which makes the offense inefficient. Aaron, despite having a disappointing tenure in New York, he still was a top 12 quarterback statistically. He was top 10 in passing touchdowns, and he also still had the ability to be really accurate. The offensive line that the Steelers are going to have next season is going to be better than any offensive line that they put on the field over the last 3-4 years. They have invested a lot of draft capital into the offensive line, and their first-round offensive tackle from last year out of Washington didn't even play last year. So you're going to have him back fully healthy. You might be able to move Broderick Jones back to his natural position. You know, like, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a way better team than what people give them credit for. DK Metcalf, George Pickens, why would you not want to throw to that if you're Aaron Rodgers? Pat Freiermuth, one of the more underrated tight ends in the game. The Steelers have weapons on offense. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings have more weapons than what the Steelers do, and you would love to link up if you are going to make one last run in your career with an offensive-minded coach. But Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, let's be honest, he pretty much be calling the shots. But Arthur Smith is a pretty capable offensive coordinator. Last year, the Steelers were top 15 in total offense. They were above average offense statistically, which is better than anything they've put on the field on that side of the ball in 5 years. Arthur Smith was able to win games with Justin Fields, and he was able to make Russell Wilson look somewhat serviceable until he eventually got exposed the final month of the season. With Aaron Rodgers, Arthur Smith, I think, could have a really good year calling plays for Pittsburgh. What held him back is you got a quarterback in Russell Wilson that can only throw deep balls and goal balls, and that's about it. If you can't throw the ball deep with Russ, you're cooked. He takes too long to get the ball out of his hands. And even when he does get the ball out of his hands fast, he's nothing but a check down Charlie. Aaron Rodgers, I would take him over Tua. I would take him over Geno Smith. There's a handful of quarterbacks that I would take Aaron Rodgers first over. I don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is at the stage of his career where he's washed. He doesn't have anything left in the tank. This is going to be what Big Ben looked like when his career came to an end in Pittsburgh, which was pretty ugly. Aaron Rodgers still has at least one more year left of good football. All the Steelers need is for him to sign on the dotted line, stop dragging this process out, waiting for a team that has no interest in them to maybe change their mind. This is like chasing a girl that doesn't want you. This is the equivalent to DMing a girl, hey, 50 million times, not getting any responses, but you keep on sitting there, hey, because maybe one day she might give you a shot. This is Aaron Rodgers waiting for the Minnesota Vikings to tell him no once again. Stop making this shit complicated, Aaron. It's pretty simple. The Steelers want you. This is the best place for you. You need to go ahead and sign that doggone contract. And instead of dragging this thing out, link up with your new teammates, get the chemistry down pat. You know why? The longer you continue to milk out this process, the harder and more difficult you're going to make it to, get acclimated to the new playbook, get acclimated to the new system, get acclimated to your new teammates. It's like you will want to get a jump on this as fast as possible. wherever you go, you're going to have to deal with a young quarterback breathing down your shoulders. If you go to the Minnesota Vikings and you end up stinking it up for the first month, you're going to get replaced by J.J. McCarthy. But if you end up going to Pittsburgh, regardless if they have a young quarterback, Mike Tomlin is going to be a little bit more lenient with you. He's going to be a little bit more patient. Aaron needs to stop with all of these charades and all of these games and just sign with the team that values him. Sign with the team that actually wants him instead of trying to wait on a team that maybe or maybe not want to give you an opportunity to start again. If I'm Aaron Rodgers right now, I'm flying back up to Pittsburgh and I'm signing that doggone contract. There's no point in continuing to waste time hoping that the Vikings might not feel like J.J. McCarthy is ready when you could go to a team that already cherishes you. You're supposed to go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated. You know, Aaron Rodgers, I don't care about his anti-vax takes. I don't care about his political stances. As a Steeler fan at this point, I just want serviceable quarterback play. And if Aaron Rodgers can give the Steelers that, they got a good chance of being able to end this playoff drought. But with him dragging this process on, he does nothing but make it more difficult for himself. He's making it even more difficult for the Steelers because now they're still trying to figure out how they're going to go about this quarterback situation. I don't believe what Mike Tomlin's trying to sell with Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is a good backup, a good third-string option to have. He's not a good option to roll into the season with as your starting quarterback. I really wish that Aaron Rodgers would stop dragging this thing out. He would just go ahead and make a doggone decision.